We met each other when we was in middle school. She was in the seventh. She was in the 8th grade, and I was in the 7th grade. And so we
This
lived.
wasn't at Drew though, right?
Yes, it was. It was.
You was at Drew?
My brother, he basically dared me to date her, right? And so he wanted me to date her, and he wanted me to break up with her 2 weeks later because no guy has ever broken up with her. And so me and her, like, we just had a real true love for each other. Like, that what kept us to be able to, and not only that what kept us to save our virginities as well.
Y'all was y'all first? Y'all both of y'all first?
First.
That's amazing.
Yes.
I give you his side.
I'll give you her side.
But together, there's only one side.
All pointing to the one source.
In the beginning.
This is the One Flesh Podcast.
Welcome to another episode of One Flesh Podcast. I'm your host, Pastor Richard Irvin.
And I'm your host, Deja Irvin.
And we're so happy to be back with y'all. Today, we actually have two special guests. We are starting to have guests on our podcast. And this is so exciting that we have our first guest, actually an old friend of mine's, Joshua Tate, and also his wife, Crystal Tate. And we're so happy to have them today to share their love story, share some wisdom and about their marriage, being a young couple, a young Christian couple. And also they actually have a YouTube channel. She actually has, she does a lot of posting on Instagram and giving young mothers and wives encouragement and everything like that. So we are so happy to have them here today with us today on our podcast to ask them some questions and about their relationship and everything. So we're going to bring them in right now. Welcome to the show, Joshua and Crystal. How y'all doing today?
Man, we're doing good.
Thank you guys so much for having us. We're excited.
For sure.
Yes, thank you guys for joining us.
So for y'all being a young couple, what is some advice can y'all give to the people? No, first of all, let's introduce y'all. Who are y'all from? What do y'all do for a living, or anything y'all want to share with people to let them know who y'all are? That'd be great too.
Okay, well, it's a lot that's going on with us.
A whole lot.
I'll say right now, what we do for a living, we are full entrepreneurs, and this is actually March was our first month being full entrepreneurs. Yeah, I quit my job at the end of February. And I started going full-time doing videography work and also doing something else. Not a lot, but other things that I love doing. So that's what I do. I'm a videographer, and we got a business together with media. So we do photos and videos, and we're working together with that. And I got a rental-car company that I'm starting to get up off the ground. So that's me. And of course, you guys know Crystal here. What she do.
Yeah, so I am an influencer. It happened so fast and out of nowhere, and like it wasn't how. I mean, my son's making a whole bunch of noise.
No problem. Go ahead.
But it's just amazing. Like, I set out a goal at the beginning of the year, and that goal just happened, and it got surpassed, like, by God. It just happened so fast. So that's what I do as I just started, and I'm like still getting my feet wet, just testing out different things, like as far as like how the influencer world works and stuff. But yeah, that's what I'm doing for now. And I take care of the kids, stay at home wife and mother, and
yeah, but that's not it.
Business.
That's not it, though. That's not it. We have to say that we also, like, we're very, very passionate about marriages. So one thing that we also do, we are really going forward and just helping marriages, like here within the city of Memphis, and even people who reach out to us, like, we're very passionate about, having healthy marriages and healthy, godly marriages. And so that's another reason why we also started that YouTube channel. So that's what we do.
Yes.
Amen.
That's great. And a little bit of history about me and Josh. We actually went to middle school together. I went with his brothers, all his brothers. I knew his whole family. I knew his dad. I knew all of them. We went to Drew. You tell me about some stories, huh?
It's some stories at Drew.
For real. And he was the youngest out of. Are you the youngest brother?
Yep, I'm the youngest brother.
Yeah, you're the baby. So he's the baby out of all of them. I think you got married first too, didn't you?
Yep, I did.
So he got married first out of all the brothers. He's the youngest, and I think he got the most kids too.
No, I don't.
Who got the most?
Out of my brothers, I do got the most kids, but my sister, she got me beat by 2.
Oh, she beat you by 2 already?
Oh
wow!
Look,
that's a twin.
Yeah,
Yeah, your twin got the most kids. He had the twin too.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't have a twin.
I don't have a twin. That's my
no. They have a twin. It's a twin though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I knew it was a twin somewhere in the family. I didn't know who it was. Okay. Y'all all look alike. For real, he looked just like his brother. Like, yeah. But that's a little back history about me and Josh. But tell us a little bit about you though, individually. I know you got the Instagram going on and everything. I seen the 10K followers on Instagram, I think. Come on now. That's a whole compliment right there.
Yeah, I don't know. It went up by 10 more K over the last.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh wow. I'm behind.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just me, you know. Like I'm just a God-fearing woman, and I love God. I love marriages, and I really love my family. Like that's why I post my family, my children a lot, because that's what I really love. Like they are just everything. Like, I mean, they just bring me joy, and I'm around them all the time. So I just have to find new ways to love on them and new ways to just be a good wife and a good mother. And that's just what I want to promote. And I want other people to see that. I want other people to see that it's possible. I want other people to see, because, sometimes people are like, oh, I don't like marriage, or just they have negative thoughts about marriage, negative thoughts about having children. And I wanted them to show, and even have negative thoughts about being a Christian, but I want to show them that, hey, it's not negative, and there's so many positives, and there's so many good things that, there's so many good things in a marriage. There's so many good things about serving God. There's so many things that are good about living a life that's for Christ, and even raising up children in those ways. So that's just about me.
Amen. And Josh, how's the entrepreneurship? That's amazing, especially at a young age. Like, bro, how do you even do that? Like, what's the?
Yeah, look, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like, look, I'm 23 years old, right? So I'm 23, and we have 2 kids together, and I'm a husband, right? So, like, making my mind to be a full-time entrepreneur, it was really hard. Like, this took me 3 years to do. It took me 3 years because I just feel like every year I'm like, I know that I'm called to be an entrepreneur. I got what it takes to be it, but it was just like, man, I got kids and I got a wife, so it's like, I need a job so I can have stable income.
Right.
But I made the decision, you know what? I'm stepping out on faith. And my wife, she was with me, so that really gave me all the encouragement that I need. My wife supported me, so I was like, hey, let's go and do it. I made that decision. And I'm like, God, I know you're going to take care of me, because it says in your word that you will provide.
Yeah.
He will supply all of our needs according to his riches and glory. So I was like, let's go, God, let's go. And to be honest, look, I'm being so honest. This month, my first month after quitting my job, I made more money this month than I made at my job. So I'm just like, yeah, I'm talking about double.
That is amazing.
Double the money, less work. I'm at home with my family. I'm working, me and my wife together. So it's amazing. It's really
amazing. That's amazing. I love that. So for y'all being a young age and in your marriage, like, what are some tips and everything like y'all could just give people? I won't go through the story yet, but I want to know, like, what are some tips you give to people?
I have
to young couples.
To young couples. So I would say, like, to block out different people that's on the outside of your marriage. Like, just don't, like, I wouldn't say just don't pay them no mind, but if they're just not giving you good advice, or if they're against your marriage, if they're against, because there's a lot of people that are against young marriages. Yeah. And we heard a lot of it when we were younger. I mean, when we first got married, it was just like, oh, you guys are getting married, you're going to ruin your life. And it's like, don't even listen to that, because that's not true. You're not going to ruin. That's not the best thing that you can do. And another thing that I would say, because I heard somebody say something like this recently, but it's like, you don't have to wait until the perfect to the person is in a perfect spot to get married.
Mm.
Like, that is something that you could grow through with the person. So that makes your marriage even all the more better. Like, just get married and grow together. You know, that's my advice to the young couples.
And I agree with her also, because we're very, like, that's something that we preach a lot to people. It's like, you know, we hear a lot of people be like, well, okay, I'm gonna wait till I get my job. I'm gonna wait till I get my house. I'm gonna wait till I get my own car, till I be able to live all by myself and be stable and da 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 da. But like, being honest, what I'll say, and that's something that we talk about together, is don't let these things stop you from getting married. Like, you know, it's good to have. It's good to have those but goals. It's like, look, it's to a certain time. Like, you can't have all these things to check off before you get married. Because even in the Bible, it says that is what better to marry than to burn, right? So, you know, just speaking about that, it's like, you know, we can't just have all these checklists. I gotta wait till I get $1 million before I get married.
Right.
You know,
exactly.
Amen. I think that's a lot of times that we talked about on one of our episodes on our podcast about how people just continue on to try to get all these things accomplished, have a lot of money, have money saved up, all these things, and then yet it becomes so comfortable. You just like, oh, we just postpone it over and over.
Yes.
10 years later, you still ain't got married. And then now the burning desire has built up now. And now you were like, oh, okay, I'm comfortable. Ain't no point in me getting married. Like, so your whole mind of being in God's will is out of your focus.
Yes.
Yeah. So that is so good. Yeah, that's 100%.
And we haven't touched on it on our podcast yet, but me and him both kind of dealt with that, like, people being discouraging, like, oh, you guys are too young, you know what you're doing, you're moving too fast. And I think a lot of those were rooted in what you guys are talking about. You don't have this, you don't have that, you don't have all these things checked off. But realistically, if God has ordered something, if God has ordained something to happen, he's going to provide, like you said, with your business. And so we just had to kind of cancel out some of the voices that were trying to speak over us and really focus on what God was saying and reading his word. And here we are now.
Exactly. And look, that's exactly what we say. Here we are now.
Yeah.
It's 5 years.
Exactly.
5 years. Yeah. That, here you are now, 5 years later. How did it all start? What is y'all love story?
Wait, before we go there, can I say something else?
Go ahead.
Another advice, and it's just to add to what she was saying. It's like, people sometimes they only give you like the negative advice from what they've experienced. So like if they had a bad relationship or a divorce or something,
trauma
to those people, because they only speaking from negative things, and they try to put that into your marriage. So that's what that little piece put.
That's 100%. Yeah.
So we all started off, man. Look, this is a lot. We'll try to make this as quick as possible. So I'll just give the version out. So this is how it all began. It just began with two people who really loved each other so much. Okay, and I'll start it right there because, and for both of us, we met each other when we was in middle school. She was in she was in the 8th grade, and I was in the 7th grade, and so we.
This wasn't at Drew though, right?
Yes, it was. It was.
You was at Drew?
No, she wasn't. She went to John.
No, I went to John Muir.
Oh, you went to John Muir. Oh wait. Okay.
Yeah, so she went to another school, so we didn't go to the same school. But how I found her was she was my sister's and brother's friends, right? And so I'm gonna make it real fast. This dude at school, he was messing with my sister. I went up to the school because I was gonna fight this dude because he was messing with my sister. And I ended up so happening to see this girl right here. And so when I saw her, things didn't kick off from there. Things didn't kick off. We saw each other and
we didn't think anything of each other.
That was it. And so I was like, man, my brother Daniel, which was her friend, look, he messed up for this. But to make it fast, what ended up happening, my brother, he basically dared me to date her, right? And so he wanted me to date her, and he wanted me to break up with her 2 weeks later because No guy has ever broken up with her, according to what she said. So I was like, okay, I'm down with it. I'm down with it. Me and her, I'm gonna ask her to be my girlfriend, and then I'm gonna break up with her so I can break her heart, so I can be the first person that dumped her.
Oh wow, that's so messed up.
But what ended up happening
was the best thing.
The best thing of my life. I'm glad I took that day.
Right?
The first 2 weeks, man, when we
weeks.
started talking to each other, like I just knew she was the one. I fell in love.
13 and 12 years old.
Second week, I fell in love. I told her I loved her. I was like, I love you. I was like, I want you to be my wife. Second week, it took 2 weeks for me to fall in love. And so what happened was after that, we stayed together, and the first 5 years of our relationship was long distance.
Yes.
Because you moved away.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I moved away to Memphis, Tennessee from Los Angeles, California. Then she moved to Vegas.
I moved to
you moved to Vegas. Oh wow.
Yeah, I moved to Vegas like after I graduated middle school. So all of my high school years, I was in Nevada, Las Vegas, Nevada.
Wait, so how do y'all keep that contact and everything? Like this is before Facebook, Instagram was popping.
Yeah.
So
they did have Uvu.
They had Uvu. So
we were just talking about that.
That's a whole.
I'm done.
And
oh wow.
Skype.
You just talked every day, like through the whole years y'all was going through high school and everything.
Just about, yeah.
Yep.
How was that experience? How was that long distance in high school?
Look, I can tell you it was super, super hard. Now, look, we had our moments. We were like, man, this ain't working. Forget it. We break up, and then we get right back together and be like, nah, I can't do it. I love you, baby, so much. Nah. So that's kind of how it was in high school. Because, in high school, things got a little bit harder because, like, with me, and I'm going to talk about myself, I was a football player and everything. So, it's like.
Yeah, I can't imagine. That's what I was thinking. Like, man, high school, got the hormones going. You like, look at you like,
it's a lot of things going on. But the good thing about it, though, with my background being, my dad, how he was when he raised in the church, I wasn't wild like that. Like, I wasn't crazy or anything. And so me and her, like, we just had a real, true love for each other. Like, that what kept us to be able to.
Amen.
And not only that what kept us to save our virginities as well.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
Because we really, really had a true desire for each other. We loved each other.
Wow. That's amazing. That y'all are inspiration for like a lot of young couples. Cause like y'all was y'all first? Y'all both of y'all first?
First.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Oh wow.
It ain't just the first and only.
That is amazing. Yeah, that's definitely inspirational. Yeah. I mean, for people that are young, I want to know some tips for the young people that are out there that want to do the same. Like, what is some little 3 tips or whatever you give them young people, how to keep their virginity, or how to save themselves?
Being honest, this is what I'll say. Most important, you gotta know why you want to do it.
Amen.
You gotta have a reason why you want to keep your virginity. Yeah. Like, to be honest, and it's something that my dad, he taught me when I was young. He didn't keep sex from me and my brothers. And
he didn't. Your dad was blunt. He was. I know your dad. Your dad was OG.
He told us everything, and he said, "Now look,
I already know
information that I given y'all. Y'all do what y'all want to do, but y'all cannot say that I didn't teach y'all, that I didn't tell y'all, that I didn't warn y'all." So for me, like, I always knew that the one that I give myself to, I wanted it to be special.
Yeah.
But not if I'm doing this, I want to do it the right way. Why? Because I don't want to have no baby mama. I don't want to be out here, contracting AIDS or any kind of HIV or any kind of sexual any STDs. So for me, it was like, one thing is understand why you doing it. Why do you want to keep yourself?
Yeah, what's your why?
And when you know why you want to keep yourself, when those hard moments come, you won't fail, because you know that, okay, I know why I'm doing this. I'm not just doing this just so I can say it,
Mm-hmm.
Amen. How about for the women?
Go ahead.
He was like,
how about for the women?
Oh, I don't know, cause like for me, it was just I was so in love, and like I didn't want anybody else. Like I just was like, especially because we were long distance. But I would say like just keeping God first. That's like a huge thing, and that'll help you in any aspect of life. But if you keep God first and just seek Him and just stay in His Word and stay just filled up with Him and His Spirit, there's no way that you'll be making those type of mistakes anyhow.
Mm-hmm.
Just,
Amen. Amen. That's great. I love
good.
it.
And I think, well, Richard didn't grow up in church, but I grew up in church, but I didn't give my life to the Lord until I got a little bit older. So I just knew the habit of going to church. So I learned some of those things, but that was the key element that I was missing. I was trying to do it out of religion or just like something I learned, and not really actually seeking God and like trusting Him that He will help me and give me the strength, because I didn't have that relationship. So definitely that is a really good element, that both the things that you guys mentioned for the young people to
see, that's good
care.
though. That's good. I heard you say that you couldn't do it by your own strength.
Yeah.
And I would give this advice to people as well. The goal that you have to know that you can't do it by yourself. You're going to have the strength of God. But not only the strength of God, you need to surround yourself with the people who have the same goal as you. Like, let's be real. If you're trying to be a guy or a young lady who's trying to save their virginity, but you're around single people who always going to parties and always having sex,
it's not gonna work out.
It's gonna be a battle that you're gonna be fighting really, really hard.
Right.
But if you're around people who have the same goal that you have, it's gonna be easier, because in those moments when you're weak, you got somebody to call. Hey man, hey look, I feel like, and then your friend will be able to give you advice and help you out to give you that strength that you need. So stick with people who have the same goal that you have.
Absolutely.
Amen. That's great. I love it. Now, did he get the full love story right, or he's missing any points?
Oh yeah.
Look, we missed a lot of points.
We missed a whole bunch because like we don't want to take up too much time, but like,
I got you. I understand. Okay. So the next part, we usually do a story time for the podcast.
So you can just pick any story.
Wait till they come back.
Oh, okay.
Sorry about that.
I know y'all good. You could bring them on the camera if you want to be with y'all. It's all good.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
We have to get print.
Yeah, you're right. That's fine. Okay.
All right. So we got in our next segment, we got to ask y'all about a story time. So we usually do a story time between each other about like what is some fun, exciting, funny events, that anything that y'all think of, any story that you have together that you want to share to people.
Say that one more time.
What is any story that y'all two involved about like any kind of event that happened in your lives as a couple? Either fun, exciting, scary, anything to think of that you want to share to the people.
What do you want to share? Because I got something to share.
What do you want to share?
Look, y'all, okay. I'll just share. I'll share this story. It's because it's exciting, but at the same time,
let me see. Welcome.
All right, so it's this story when I'll say it like this. Okay, this was probably one of the only times where me personally, I was gonna call it quits.
What you talking about?
And this is a story that
What you talking about?
It's so funny. Say that again.
No, she was just talking. Go ahead.
Okay. So for me, this I laugh at it now because we got over it, so it's all good. But one day we were driving in my car, right? So I'm driving.
Oh goodness.
And Crystal, she's with me. We're together, and we're in the car.
I already know where you're going with that.
And so look, this is my first car that I ever had. So I love this car. Like I really, 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 really love the car. So we're driving, and I wanted to eat my food. And so I started driving with my knees.
He had ice cream. I remember.
So I started driving with my knees. And what happened was she thought I was going to hit another car because the car was moving over a little bit. She grabbed my steering wheel, y'all. He grabbed me because she was so scared.
I was scared.
And we went over the curb. We ran over the curb. Boom, boom, boom.
And we went down a hill. Yeah. We went down a hill. And it was scary.
This close to a tree.
And he didn't have his seatbelt on.
And I did not have my seatbelt on.
You know that was God's
Oh my goodness.
The reason why
that is wild.
I say that was because like after that I was so frustrated. I came home with my brother, Willie. You know Willie, right?
Yeah.
I know you know Willie. So I came home and I'm like, man, she messed up my car. All my wheels popped, my rims bent, my car messed up. And Crystal was there crying. She, baby, I didn't mean to. Baby, I didn't mean to. And I'm like, Willie, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this girl. She messed up my car. Willie was like, boy, shut up, man. Calm down, man.
I already know it. I hear the voice. I already know it.
He was like, be quiet, boy. So what ended up happening in that moment, I did calm down. But I was able to forgive her and be like, you know what? I love you and it's gonna be okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's like a funny story for me.
That's good.
Yeah, I was overreacting about the whole situation,
but it could have been really bad. So I do thank God that everything turned out good. Because, like I said, he didn't have his seatbelt on, and he was just holding on to the bottom of the seat. I remember, and I was nervous because I'm like, you driving with your knee, like that's not safe and stuff. So, wait, hold on. So after. Oh yeah, I was gonna say that happened when I first moved out here to Memphis. Like I would say a few months later. So this is just we fresh being together after being long distance. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna mess it up. He gonna want me to go back home. I was like, oh man, it was a moment.
That's amazing. That's great. So as a closing, and y'all been together for 5 years. What is something y'all can share with people to encourage them for marriage or relationship, people that are courting or dating right now, or probably young couple just like yourselves? What is something y'all want to share to people before we leave?
I would say I'm gonna speak to the married people. I don't believe in divorce, and I believe that everyone, who gets married, after you say I do, it's over, there's no divorcing. And Joshua and I, that's just what we talk about all the time. Mm-hmm. We always say divorce is not our option. And so just don't even no matter what, just stick through whatever it is that you're going through, because the word says, this too shall pass. So every struggle and every test, every trial, everything that comes up is not there just to last forever. It's there just to push you and to motivate you even to fight harder for your marriage, and just to make sure that you guys stay together. So that's my piece of advice.
Amen.
And I would even agree with her. Together, that'll be our piece of advice, because we call that the D word. We don't even we don't even say that word. That word is not tolerated in our marriage, because it's just not gonna happen. Mm-hmm. Because how we look at it is, no matter what comes up in our marriage, and think about this as well for your marriage out there, mm-hmm. no matter what comes up in your marriage, you are able to get through it together.
Right. Amen.
With God and with both of you all together, y'all can get through no matter what comes your way, as long as you stick together.
Amen.
Amen.
I love that. So, for those that are listening, can you please share your Instagram, your TikTok, your YouTube channels, and also some things y'all working on?
Okay, so our YouTube channel is Totally Tate. That's Totally Tate. That's our YouTube channel, and that channel is all about marriage, and it's all about our life. I'm not gonna share my personal accounts yet, because I'm not really into Facebook and Instagram, but I will be getting into that very soon.
I'm trying to get him involved.
I'm not gonna say anything with her.
My Instagram handle is Mrs. Crystal Tate. It's just simple, Mrs. Crystal Tate.
Amen. And do you have anything y'all working on?
Yeah, we're actually working on a lot of stuff. But what we can say is we'll give y'all this. We're working on a platform for married people, and we're gonna put the word out there. It's called Marriage the Right Way. And that's one of the big things that we're working on. Marriage the Right Way. And what that's about, just a little bit what that's about, is just a place where married people could be able to go to learn and to get counseling, to get help, with different things
and
that's going on.
Courses and all that.
That's good. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, make sure you get all the information from y'all from that, and make sure to link it down below in the description for people to follow y'all and to check it out. Anything else you want to share with them or ask them?
No, thank you guys for coming on here.
Thank you guys again for having us.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you all for watching. Make sure to hit the like button, make sure to subscribe, make sure to follow the Tates on all their adventures and their marriage, the years to come. I know for sure they have a lot of things in store for y'all. But thank you all for watching. God bless you all, and good luck being married.
Stop by grace.